Find the sensor, downing the slavers. Let's see what damage type we need. It's probably going to be the same. EM thermal, yep. Cargo hold. Phew, I thought I left that for a moment. These are drones. These in here. Take them all to Jita at some point. Easy. Ah, always forget. Okay, yep. All good. Let's go. Cruisers art update.
Several cruisers have received a major visual update, but they're not just stunning, they're also newly rebalanced. Tech 3 cruisers are getting bonuses.
Almost back up to 4 billion. That's crazy.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Help me. Overheat bonus to remote armor repairs. All the legit.
And they took me in. It was that easy 20 years ago. I made Space Friends. You can tell this is a pretty old screenshot from EVE. Soon after I joined, we completed our first Corp project, so to speak, together as a corporation. Our first POS. It was a big deal back then, and everyone was super engaged. I was spending more and more time playing EVE and getting closer to the new friends that I've made. So I decided, well, I'll just invite them to my city to hang out. Turns out, real-life hangouts with you guys aren't not easy, really. And a few months later, we created an alliance and completed another project, which was our first capital. Again, those things were really a big deal 20 years ago. And then the real-life hangouts became the norm. So this is a picture of our alliance summit at my apartment, like 19 years ago, where 15 adult men were watching EVE trailers on a CRT screen.
Holy crap. That is crazy. 15-inch CRT monitor.
So yeah, I couldn't hear that, sorry. So we became really close with these people. So when a few years later I was getting married, my corp mates hot dropped my wedding ceremony. Yeah, my wife was quite amused. She's somewhere here in the audience. But let's have a round of applause to all our partners who endured this madness.
That's cool.
So, 2025, I'm still in touch with many of the people that I met in EVE over the years, and I don't think I would be here on stage 20 years later if I didn't join a corp within my first week of playing the game.
Absolutely,
and all of that just because of a cool-looking banner.
You have to play with
people. In the next
people.
expansion, we are introducing a tool that will allow your corp to show their colors better. Corporation Palette.
Corporation
palette
That's
will
cool.
Be composed of 3 colors, which you will be able to modify individually. And in this new section of brand management in the Corp window. Each color will have access to full RGB range, and as you heard,
I'll let my drones kill that one.
RGB values or hexes, so you could just copy your out-of-game colors into the in-game tool to represent your corporation. And in the future, you will be able to also apply this color palette directly to the Corp skins for the ships or for the structure.
Why am I so tired?
So in 2025, corporations in EVE will look cooler than ever before. Now, why EVE players join corporations? The reasons are usually very pragmatic, like universe domination, right? And that requires some collaboration, and corporations are just tools for that. And you know core projects already.
Oh,
a system
hey.
Allowing
Sorry.
to communicate their goals to the members, and for the members to be able to contribute to those
Wait a
goals.
minute.
And
are you guys in Discord?
while
Nope.
doing so. So I wish that feature existed 20 years ago when we were building our first boss or just gathering materials for our first capital. And we've heard many stories about how you use the Corp projects to complete your goals. What? Sir, are you sure? We have some contrary evidence that you actually do use them. It's not really just bollocks. And I've been talking to you for the whole week now, and I've heard very cool stories about how your corporations use them. And sometimes
Nearly.
you get creative. And some of you use them a lot. Here's about half of active projects in Brave. Thanks, Brave, for allowing us to share this. So here's the other half. Well done. That's how you do it. This chart shows that you create about 300 new projects per day, and most of them for item delivery,
There we go.
unsurprisingly. Here you can see that you earn around 50 billion ISK per day from
what
core
was that?
projects. That's like 1.5 trillion ISK per month. And here we can see a chart showing corporations of various size. The top chart, the brightest one, is corporations over 100 members, and we can see that 60% of them use core projects. And now we are at the 5th iteration of the system, and in Legion, we are introducing something that you've heard yesterday. Freelance jobs.
Freelance jobs. Yeah, that's right. Be interesting.
Freelance jobs will be similar to corporation projects. It's an extension of that system with
Okay.
one major difference. These will be available to capsuleers outside of the issuing corporation. So this opens up a free market for work, for jobs, similar to how the current market system allows for exchange of goods for ISK with parties without prior relationship. The system will do the same, but for activities, for actions that you can take, not just for items that you can exchange. And while this will allow you to outsource some of the work that you need to get done, the primary function of the system is recruitment.
Oh, what's wrong with doing?
This is a potential new player. His name is Adam, obviously, and he will start playing in a few weeks. So far, he's been playing RPG games, and he was getting quests from NPCs that have the exclamation mark over their head. Adam isn't really impressed with all that. And then he comes to EVE and looks at freelance jobs.
Okay.
And he realizes that all these are made by other players, by you. Like some of you probably remember the moment when you realized that all the market orders are actually issued by players. And like, to me, that was something that blew my mind.
Maggie.
Right? Like completely player-run economy of the game. And we all know together that EVE's magic comes from the fact that it is you who create the content in it. And we want new players to realize that as soon as possible. So Adam starts making some serious ISK from freelance projects, of course, if you fund them. And then
This
you
is
receive some
interesting.
guidance in those projects, in those jobs, where you will be able to provide, for example, a recommendation for a fitting that is suitable for the particular job. That is something that Adam is missing today, where they get some guidance from you without, again, having to talk
It's
to
taking
you
too
first.
long.
And then, if you see Adam performing well, and by you I mean people who issue those projects, who are project managers in the corporations, you will see Adam performance, their contribution to the project. You initiate a conversation with Adam. And it is you who invite
So I've got to
them
do the
to
Sisters of
corporation.
Eve
It will be
quest
much
line.
easier for Adam to accept
Agents,
the state of things like that,
encounters.
rather than them being
Where is it?
responsible for initiating the first contact, because you are a scary bunch.
Opportunities,
let's be
maybe.
honest.
There we go.
And in
The
a couple of years,
blood-stained
Adam
assistants.
will be right here.
I need to go do all of that shit. Damn it. Also, Scott.
So there will be 6 contribution methods for freelance jobs at the initial release. You should know
Oh my
all
god,
of them
look how many
from the
mobs there are.
corporation projects. They will work the same way, but let's just quickly go over them. Destroy non-capsuleers is essentially ratting. Those jobs will be good for example, increasing ADMs, as you've seen in the Grave projects. They have a lot of that. Damage capsuleers, essentially bounties in a way.
Switching to
Maybe without
precision
the
missiles.
without the kill mail yet, that is coming soon. But this one will be useful for that. Then mine materials, again, good for ADMs, but also like mine materials or destroy non-capsuleers, it will be just good for you to assess like how quickly someone could
This is the most damage I've taken in a
mine
while.
stuff,
Whoa.
and maybe that will be the way for you to judge whether they are suitable potential recruit. Then we have capture factional warfare complex and defend factional warfare complex. So now the organizations in factional warfare will
maybe
be
I
able
should
to
have held on to
outsource
my other missiles for a little bit
the
longer.
work needed to either capture the system or defend it. This should become
Whoa.
very useful for the groups. And ship insurance. Like if you feel benevolent and if you want to impress a new player and reimburse the
these
rifter
close
that they're losing
ones.
in a mission or in a gate camp, then this one will be something that
Vagabond
will be able to
Chainbreaker.
show off your corporation as supportive to a potential new player. So it may not cost you very much, but it would be a significant help for a new player.
This
if
one's
they could
probably
get a
moving
ship
quite
ready.
quick. Oh yeah. How do I look
When
at
it
the
comes to
skin?
visibility of freelance jobs, like today corporation projects are obviously visible to all the members of the Corp. Freelance jobs will be a bit different. So each corporation will have up to 100 active jobs at the same time. The Corp show info will be showing all the jobs issued and active from that particular corporation. So many players just flying around who check other characters when they see them on gates or in space, and then they check up on their corporation, will see all the projects, all the jobs that your corporation have issued. And also, that's the primary way, the opportunities window will show the jobs that are
there we
being
go.
broadcasted from within 5 jumps
Oh, that's
from
cool.
where the viewer is. So you'll be to select
It's like,
20
that's
broadcast
sick.
locations,
The design
which
of the
are
head
solar
of the
systems
ship.
where you have an office to broadcast those jobs from there. So for example, starter systems are very good candidates to
Oof.
broadcast your jobs, where someone,
Most
a new
damage
player
I've taken in
opening
a
their
while.
opportunities window will see a list of the jobs and your corporation's job among them. And when it comes to access, at first we're giving you just one tool to control the access to your jobs, which will be the character age or capsuleer age. You will be able to set the limit, for example, how old or how young the capsuleer must be to be able to accept the job. For example, you want only new players.
When is advantage projects are coming? And for freelance jobs, is there any worry about killing the buy market using the item delivery?
So regarding the advantage projects,
For for question 1, advantage projects for faction warfare.
Yep.
And question 2 for freelance, item delivery projects could potentially hurt the buy order market.
Yeah, so you've been asking about that since
A lot.
previous FanFest. I remember you, yeah. So advantage projects are definitely on the list. I cannot give you a schedule, but as mentioned in the keynote, we developed a new tool. We just got a gift from our engineers where we'll be able to create new contribution methods, essentially new project types, way faster. So that is definitely on the agenda now, just to go again through the whole list of projects that we wanted to have, and advantage projects are there, pirate projects as well. So this should definitely be soon. I cannot promise any date at this particular time. Because
Jesus
it's
Christ,
just
how much
the
health does
first
this thing
expansion
have?
that we are releasing. We are not planning what's next. So just prioritizing the stuff that I'll remember. And yeah, the second question was about
The freelance jobs, item delivery potentially hurting the buy order market.
depends what you mean by hurting.
Hopefully that didn't.
Depending if you have no tax, no broker fee, that's way cheaper to get items that way through freelance jobs rather than placing a buy order.
Yeah, but there will be other limitations. Like for example, the market orders are visible within a region, the whole region. while freelance jobs are visible only within 5 jumps from its broadcasting locations, which is the solar systems that the creators
they've thought that out pretty
while
well.
creating a job. So that's one limitation. Another one is that the creation of the freelance jobs has fees associated with it, so we have to include those fees in the price anyway.
God, these things have so much
maybe
health.
there are no taxes yet on that, but it doesn't mean that we won't introduce any. Like if it happens as you suggest, that it really cannibalizes the real market.
I can't believe how much money I've made this last night and this morning.
Instead, just to exchange items for that, then we'll definitely pay attention and do something about it.
Thank you.
Hey, would it be possible to activate projects based on conditions, like the ADM falling below a certain level in a certain system, or the workforce dropping due to MTOs?
Not directly, but as soon as we give you an ESI endpoint, you could build that kind of mechanism, right? That listens to one
Completed the mission already.
signal from the ESI and then just creates projects based on that. That's in the future.
So also in the ESI point to create projects.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's planned. Thank you.
Howdy.
Oh my god, my
Peter
drones
Barrington
just
from
did
Business
way more
Foundation.
damage than I did.
Do you have any idea if there's any intention to allow chat channels to be controlled by access lists?
Maybe you could answer that.
Yeah, I don't think we've discussed that, controlling access of chat channels by access lists, but it's an interesting idea. We are looking into at least bringing chat or like showing chat links in a more prominent place for corporations, so that, for example, if players are taking part in freelance projects, so that they know some chat channels from the corporation where they're like doing recruitment for projects, so they would be getting help easily. But yeah, we haven't discussed anything for that.
No.
Yeah, it just would make it easier for, because corporations and alliances and coalitions aren't always one easy to manage group, and if you already have an ACL for it,
Right.
and then you're also having to manage a second, potentially multiple chat channels to match an ACL, and it's just a lot of extra work when you already have ACLs that could just handle it all.
Yeah, this is super
Yeah,
interesting.
it is a cool idea. I hope someone is recording this so so we don't forget. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Maybe one thing, like if also just to engage our friends here, if you have some questions about like the Corp palette, the logo, the colors for the corporations, please also like try to come up with questions. Like
Right.
if you just think about it, what you could ask our gentleman here.
Hi, Pastor Jay from Kitchen Sinkhole. I want to ask you about that new map. That
He's
you're
bloody,
gonna
he's a
put
pom,
on.
mate.
It's
He's a
very
bloody
cool
pom.
looking, but it's a little bit useless to
But
us
it's a little bit
as
useless,
Wormhole
mate.
Corporation. Is there potential to give us a bit more mapping tools?
There's no
that
potential,
we can
mate.
use
None
in
of
game?
it.
Like giving us more bookmarks. We hit the bookmark limit every single day. Giving us like shared corporation scanning. Like if somebody scans it down, the Corp could warp to the place would be great. And then I think using those map assets, you could easily, I'm saying easily, not knowing the back end, right? But if you gave us the ability to be able to map out our wormhole with that sort of style map in game, that would be incredible. These tools would be just awesome. So what are your thoughts on that? Is there potential for that at some point?
Yeah, so there are two things that they're asking about, right? Like one is just more bookmarks. Someone else poked us about that a few times this week, so we have that noted. But the other thing was essentially, can we have Pathfinder in client?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
I don't know. Like there are different opinions whether we should do it or not, and we haven't reached a decision really. Because on the other hand, we introduced wormholes to the game as something mysterious and like a place to get lost in. So we didn't intend for that to be easily mappable, so to speak. So that introduced some friction to the game and an ability to actually get lost, and that's good. But at the same time, I agree with you that it might be a hassle to get a group organized around like a third-party tool rather than something in the game. So we're definitely still thinking about it, but I don't have a definite answer for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. About the projects, is there any plan to have another type of reward than discs? Like, okay, make me kill 10 NPCs and I give you this thorax fitted for it, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. That's fine. No,
Yes.
I only saw like screenshots with ISK rewards, so that's
Yeah,
a question.
there are plans about item rewards,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
and maybe LP rewards as well,
Okay, good.
including Evermarks.
And I have second one, if I can place it, which is the core palette was a good thing, but I don't understand how it fits between skinners, it's standard skins. How does it work?
Right,
Maybe.
so right now there's no link between the core palette and Skinner. We decided to tackle the freelance jobs first because we feel that that would be a great way to really show off.
What am I up to today?
To begin with.
Just playing for a few hours now, but then got to take the dogs for a walk and do a few things outside. Got to do the gardening and stuff. But then I'll be on tonight, later tonight. Where are you from, Bianca?
Hi, Corvazonzo, Ghostbirds, Kadawi Faction Warfare. We had some
Are you an Aussie?
updates from Uprising with the reduction of LP farming.
Scotty Buddy.
He's a
Space Jesus, I call
do
him.
you think that freelance contracts could potentially be weaponized? So if somebody was very wealthy, for instance, they could set up a freelance contract.
And where are you? Are you in HiSec as well? What do you do in the game? Are you running missions or mining or a bit of everything? Do you go in nullsec?
That sounds amazing, doesn't it?
Sorry, I just asked like 10 questions there.
Just make what? Yeah, exactly. Well, distribution, but also it is a hyper-capitalism simulator, right? Someone wealthy should be able to impact things, and that just gives you more reason to go out and fight and defend.
Okay, they're mining.
Right. Even if they take over your space, let's say you are on the receiving side of that plan.
Probably do one more mission.
Like provides ISK rewards to other players to actually combat you on your like back systems. Like even if that happens in a long while, in a long term, right? Like they take over your space. So what? You take it back, and at the same time, someone got richer, as in many players who maybe weren't that wealthy to begin with, they got additional income, and they got a reason to undock and fight.
Should I mine closer to Jita with my
people who've been watching the stream back home and stuff,
Mackinaw
possibly a regression
to
back
sell
from
things quicker?
anti-LP farming measures that came in with Uprising. Yeah, but as you say, obviously there is a counter to it taking systems, but obviously we're going to have
Lazy Aussie, good morning.